Hey everybody, what's going on? This is my Toyu can, or kerosene can. Right now it's about 99.9% empty. I've come to Juntendo, the hardware store here in Toyosaka, to get some more. Right over here is where they have the kerosene tank, and they'll fill it up there, but first I have to go inside and pay, and they'll give me a ticket. I've been so busy, like I said. I have been having headaches. I'm not quite sure if it's just the stress from studying or what. I don't know, maybe there are a few reasons. I don't know, but last night when I was driving home, I just got really sick and nauseous while I was driving. I had to pull over on the side of the road very quickly and make an emergency stop just to puke. I couldn't wait to get home, even though it was really cold at the time. It wasn't bothering me. I just wanted to lie down and get in bed. Luckily, I fell asleep very quickly, and I only woke up a couple of times in the middle of the night, and I was so sleepy I was able to go right back to sleep. So it was one of the best nights of sleep I ever had. But very slight headache today, nothing compared to yesterday, and not feeling nauseous, so that's good. I'm hoping that I just get better. I'm having a little bit of pain in my kidney, hoping that goes away. The reason I decided to go ahead and make a film I wish I were making a film right now. I decided to go ahead and make a video for you guys is because I got to my 20th lesson and I found out basically that I don't think that I'm going to be getting any more lessons online until I attend class. I didn't get any this morning, and the teacher did tell me that I have 20 lessons to complete before I go back to the school. And it just so happens that the lesson that they sent me yesterday was lesson 20. And this morning at 8 o'clock, I got a review quiz, but I didn't get any lesson 21 classwork to do. I'm feeling very happy about that. Woke up early this morning without an alarm, about 7:45, and I didn't feel bad. So I went to the cafe. I was very happy because Kerosene Cafe was open again today. I went over there and they fixed me a really awesome lunch of fried tofu. They don't batter it and deep fry it. It's cooked in a grill, but they grill it on the outside and like sear it all the way around. It has just through and through, it has the most awesome flavor, but it's like crispy on the outside. It just tastes perfect. I don't know how they do it, but even if you don't like tofu, I'm kidding you not, you would love it. It just tastes awesome. But also it comes with some vegetables, really awesome miso soup, a small bowl of rice, and some other things. All of that with a lunch set, and a cafe au lait, like a latte, and the whole thing is like $8. So I treated myself to that. That was my first meal of the new year at the cafe. They've been closed and on break, so I'm very happy that they're open again. After that, I did a lot of study for one of my lessons, lesson 19, and I took a lot of notes on the grammar and all the vocabulary. And after I get this kerosene, I'm going to grab a couple of other things and go home, start working on my homework assignment. But I figured, hey, since I don't have the extra lesson, maybe it would be nice to take you guys with me. Not a big deal, but you know, it's something. I've parked right here and the kerosene thing is right over there. Let's go inside. Generic advertising music, that's what I hope it is. I typically spend most of my time on this end when I do have the money to get materials, because this is where all the wood is and the plumbing and all that kind of stuff. Konnichiwa. Hardware and all of that is over here at the tools. I have a lot of houseware stuff. Seasonal things here for clothing they put up here. Right now it's like gloves and hoods and stuff like that, and jackets and things. The thing that I bought in here last time that goes completely over my head, it's not bad, but I realized sometimes I need something that doesn't go over my head. I just need it around my neck, kind of like a scarf, you know, kind of like this here, kind of like, you know, this one here. You can wear it like a hat, and you can also wear it like over your nose and stuff like that, or around your neck, something like this. This one feels much nicer, but it's more expensive. This one's I kind of like the navy one. I'll get the navy one. There we go. I was able to go to the onsen yesterday morning early, get a nice shave and bath and relax for a little bit, and then spent the rest of the day on studies. I went to see a movie, and I was feeling pretty good at the movie, but by the time I left the movie, I was starting to feel kind of bad, and on the drive home, I just got nauseous, and that's when I had to suddenly pull over. I was only about 1 minute down the road from my house, but I just couldn't wait. I had to suddenly pull over. It was ridiculous. You know, some of these slippers they've got here are pretty cool. They're not expensive. I love these hardware stores because, or these home centers, I guess you could call them, because they're not nearly as good as far as like DIY and materials as like a Home Depot or a Lowe's, but when it comes to just, you know, your overall home center needs, it's a really good store. Lots of cool stuff. Stores like this are really good. Not necessarily just this particular one, but go up here and ask her for some kerosene. I'll pay for my stuff, and then I've got to go to the supermarket. Oh, hi. Okay. ありがとうございます。Okay. They gave me the ticket I was talking about, so I'll go ahead and go out there. They'll call somebody to meet me over there and fill up me tank. Fill up me tank, they will. It's a really nice day today. It's cool, but I was feeling so good this morning when I walked out. I was just wearing my hoodie with no undershirt and no jacket on. I didn't put my jacket on because it just wasn't. Oh, it's so beautiful. It just wasn't cold enough. I felt nice, much nicer. But I don't know about you guys, but I usually feel better if I'm not feeling well, if I'm like sick or nauseous or whatever, get motion sickness, anything like that. It makes me feel a little better to be in the cold than it does in the heat. Konnichiwa. I'm gonna put this in here right quick so I can grab my tank. And I need this ticket. Yo.
少々お待ちくださいね。じゃあ、あと取材館のレジで。取材館レジお願いします。
はい、どうぞ。
お待たせしました。
Okay.
はい。
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
It's so much heavier when it's full, huh? Yeah, just double tighten those. Yeah. There's not too much in here. Most of the stuff that's piled up under here is some materials that I need to finish the back here, because the sofa bed that I have that's going to fold down, it's a flat plywood surface with a frame, and I put my cushion on it for a bed so I can sleep on it, but it folds up. All of that's made and at home, but I had to get some extra wood so that I can make the legs for the frame here. Once that's done, I'll be able to have this ready for sleeping. Konnichiwa. Genki? Oh, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
The guy that I just talked to just a moment ago, his name, on his name tag, it looks like SEO because his name is Sale. It's funny. I asked him one day about that. I said, SEO? Internet SEO? And he got it and he started laughing. He's like, no. That's pretty funny. I have put up some of the thermal aluminum foil insulation that you've seen in another video. And since then, I've put up even more. I put up some on what I call the front side of the bedroom. It's the side that's facing the outside of the house. I've completely covered that side in the thermal insulation, as well as most all of the other side. And on the side where the door is, where you go into the room, basically about 90% of that is covered. The only thing I haven't really covered is the door and one panel next to it. In the middle of the house, the room that's next to it, I wasn't able to cover half of that because of the furniture that's in the way, but half of it's covered. And after all of that, I have noticed a difference, because whenever I use the kerosene heater, which is my strongest, biggest heater, I can now get the temperature over 20 degrees, and that's on a low setting, and that's perfect because I'm trying to get my kerosene to last longer. You know, it's not cheap. And 20 liters here costs around 2,200 yen, and spending basically 1,000 or 1,100 yen every single day on heat is ridiculous. There's no reason to be spending that much on heat. It's cheaper for me to just use an electric heater. Unfortunately, the electric heater that I have right now is small, and so if the temperature is not very, very cold outside, like if it's maybe 7 or 8 degrees outside, I can just use my electric heater. It's no big deal. But when it gets down below 0, I really need to have that big heater going, and it brings the temperature way up. And since I put in the thermal insulation, it is so much easier to get that temperature up and keep it nice and warm in the room. And I don't know about you guys, but when I'm at home, I really like to be able to just be in shorts and t-shirt. That's what I prefer. It's very comfortable. If I'm doing my homework and my studies at home, it's difficult to focus on that and do that if I have to bundle up and wear a coat and a winter hat and gloves and stuff like that, just to try to stay warm while I'm studying. It's not conducive to a good study environment, and that's one of the reasons why I just sometimes just hop in the van and drive down to a cafe and spend my whole day there, like I did yesterday. I went to Saijo because nothing here was open. I drove all the way to Saijo. It's a 45-minute drive, but I stayed there from about 9 o'clock in the morning all the way until near midnight. I didn't leave there until about 11 o'clock, a little after 11, because I didn't get home until around midnight. After a little bit of testing, the room warms up really fast, and I give that credit to that Daiso insulation paper. So if you're in a similar situation wherever you are, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're in an old house with no insulation. It doesn't necessarily mean you're in Japan. You could be anywhere in the world. If you have a situation where you're doing some repair, or you need to do some repair and add some things to make your room warmer, but you don't have the budget to do that, I would recommend giving it a try. If you can get a hold of the thermal insulation paper, it could be a really good option for you to help seal off your room and trap that heat. And just to remind you, I did put the reflective surface facing in because it's meant to reflect the heat. And so if you put it facing in, then all of the heat inside will be kept in a little easier. Ideally, I like the idea of having double sheeting, facing both directions, both sides, but that's extra money, and right now I'm not going to spend that. But I've spent much less than $100 on all of the insulation that I've got, that thermal insulation that I've got around the room right now. Less than $50 actually for all of that. Isn't that crazy? If I buy those large sheets from Daiso, they're just a little over 500 yen each, and I don't even need 10 of them to completely cover the room all the way around. I now need to get over to the supermarket and get back home and get on my homework. But that's it for today. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions or comments or whatever about this or anything else that's related, then just let me know. I'll be happy to try to answer those in the comment section. Even though I'm busy, I still do check my comments and reply as quickly as I can. So I hope all of you will have a good weekend, and I will see you next time. If we're lucky, then I'll have a couple of days free before I go back to classes, where I'm not stressed out and overloaded with homework, and then I can actually do something around the house and share that with you. But for now, that's it. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you, and じゃあね。